Good evening, I am Grimokan, and welcome to the HorrorTown News. In tonight's story, Mayor Johnson today has ordered the town to be in quarantine for at least 2 weeks due to the amount of toxicity that's been coming within the junk of townspeople. Residents of this town has stated that Mr. Dawes might be to blame for this after recently opening up the chemical plant that had just fallen to town back in September of last year. We talked to Mr. Dawes, and this is what he had to say.
I don't know why people are so scared about this whole organization. Just because I brought back the business doesn't mean that I was held responsible for all the giant monsters coming through the town.
Sir, we didn't talk about giant monsters.
In other news, the townspeople have stated that pranking has gone on after this whole curfew, as 2 children seems to be up front of all this. Townspeople must be resident aware of this whole pranking spree, and even many warns that there might be giant hamsters running the streets. We go live to Mr. Man now as he reports this resolution. I'm sure he's just fine. Coming up next, we interview the man who wrote the book Trigger the Big White Dog, and see how well that becomes a new childhood classic. Will be more after this at 11. Good evening, welcome back to Goosebumps HorrorTown playthrough. This is Grim, and this is part 2 to this quest line. I just came back from my little dumb skit I did. There was a little joke I had. I did mention before when Cuddles came in, I would basically bring in that joke, so I figured why not do it as a news. I don't know, just give me some effort, okay? I worked my butt onto that. Alright. Anyways, I just want to apologize with part 0 being as wonky as it is, and I'm hoping that during these next 3 parts I'll give you some interesting information as far as my minor involvement with it, as well as where this whole inspiration kind of came from during this whole weirdness as it. Part 4 will be also the controversy of, I won't say just yet, but it's coming, don't worry, I know. Anyways, so this part we're going to be taking a look at a few characters. The main one is going to be that of Evan. He is this town's #1 prankster, as he says. Not only that, but there's also 2 new animal buddies, the ones that are famous from the book themselves. Trigger, Evan's dog, and the school hamster known as Cuddles. Now, Cuddles you might know because he's been heavily advertised back in the day with the monster blood, because the monster blood is really just an inanimate object, so Cuddles was just the face for monster blood, I guess. So, yeah, very weird, but whatever. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive right into this little giant pack and see what is to offer. So after the purchase is done, we got all the stuff here, so now we're going to go dive right in and get ready to go. So, this is the other pack that's here for Run You Fools. This is just one of those item packs where you just buy it and you just get some of these currency items, inventory stuff. It's there if you want it, but it's not really needed, per se. Anyway, so here are the 3 characters, Trigger, Cuddles, as well as Evan. So, I think at first what I wanted to do was put Cuddles over here. Now, what's interesting about with Cuddles' design is that they actually gave him a little hamster ball, because, you know, he's a small little guy and hamster balls usually. I don't even know why he came in an incubator, to tell you the truth, but okay. Yeah, that's his home. He has an incubator versus a little hamster cage, but okay. Whatever. It's the guy wanted to do that, so that's what it is, I guess. Whoever was in charge of designing the things. But yeah, okay, so I figure, you know, I'm gonna put this plot of land here, and I'm gonna make my garbage land the whole purpose. I'm gonna try to see how my garbage land will look, because I'm kind of still a little bit iffy on it, but regardless of that, this will be interesting. Now, I mentioned slightly before that I had some minor involvement with it. Well, the idea was Monster Blood was gonna come sooner than later, but they couldn't do it during March because of what happened in April with the drinking and all that stuff. But anyways, first things first, before that, here's Cuddles. Yay, look how adorable he is. And look, he's in his little hamster ball. Isn't he cute? Don't worry, you'll see a bigger version of him in a bit, and it's kind of funny how they decided to design. Anyways, there's only 2 tasks: rest and play in the junkyard, or play at the junkyard. They dropped, these characters really don't drop a whole lot of stuff. I think I mentioned this during my part, the crafting 101. They're only just useful for actually getting the monster blood item needed for the crafting. And, yeah, so where does the watching bear slowly rolling his way to the lamppost in the junkyard, quote-unquote. While we're waiting for that to happen, before we meet the other characters, the reason why this whole thing became a junkyard / weird pranking stuff, that was his, that was, from what I understand, the contact talked to the other guy. This was their idea of doing it. I did suggest maybe trying to do a apocalypse kind of Mad Max theme, and I thought, okay, well, we can't really do that, so maybe a junkyard. And the reason I was thinking about that was because back in January, there's a game called Crash Nitro Karts. It was a remake of an actual Crash Team Racing. But anyways, in that game, what happened is that in January they did an update which was like Rusted Land, like the Mad Max style. So I'm like, hey, that would be kind of cool to have in the game. I didn't know what kind of theme it would fit, but he's just like, you know what, yeah, Monster Blood, it'd be funny, pranky, haha, April Fool's thing. So I'm like, okay, well, it worked. I originally thought of clowns, but, alright, yeah, fine. Clowns will be for later, I guess, or monster eggs. Yeah, that's gonna be a thing. But anyways, here comes my other favorite character. Here he comes. Oh boy, it's Trigger! Haha, funny May come back. But yeah, Trigger, the big white dog. It's interesting because in the show, I think he was like a lassie type of dog that they use, but in this one, he's just kind of like a white. He does the same thing, except the difference is he chooses bone versus resting. So yeah, we're gonna have him do that, and now we're gonna go to the man of the hour. Here's Evan. Look at that prankster kid. Look at him thinking that he's all tough and whatnot. Now, there he is walking about. We're going to see a bigger form of him, so don't worry about that type of stuff. So this is the Monster Blood book finally open. As you can see, another character is going to be introduced during this game. I'm going to go to that when we see her. For now, there's another chapter, and this is the prize, so here we go.
Our town is not looking good, given that the mayor has been absent for so long. But some people still find opportunity in the darkness of times. Like Evan. He's just arrived in town and is ready to have some mean-spirited fun. Where others might see a junkyard, all he sees is a treasure trove. But wait, Curly, you might cry in distress. Isn't that what Justin's all about? Well, yes. What Mr. Wood is to Slappy, Evan is to Dustin. His true nemesis.
Alright, so today I guess I'll skip school, loot the junkyard, and brainstorm some prank ideas. A really productive day, if I may say so myself.
Animate skipping school and place the mailbox prank. Now, what's interesting, weird about this is that in the Monster Blood trilogy, there wasn't really much pranking going on, but except maybe you can argue the second and third book, and I guess the fourth, but it was basically a copy-paste of the... someone argued that the second base, and this is him skipping school, by the way, with him just looking through the trash pile. I'm going to zoom in to show you all the 3 items he pulls. The paper, throws that away. Look at the junk. That, throws that away. Rubbing the junk. Green thing, throw that away. Yeah, so he's just going to massage the garbage pile over here. But, yeah, anyways, with Evan, it's weird because they designed him after... He kind of looks like Dennis the Menace of sorts, and... I guess I like the design. I understand why they wanted to do it like that, but honestly, yeah, with part 4, oh yeah, I forgot. You need the characters in order to do that, but they're busy, so we're not going to be able to do that for a while. These certain items and characters and whatnot, based on the books and others, it's interesting how they kind of put them all together. And if I'm trying to recall this again. I think in part 4, the one with the blue, weird, multiplying slug monsters, I have a feeling, and someone suggested this in their worst pick video, that they believe that those lip monsters were supposed to be, and they call them lip monsters, but, you know, they're slug monsters, but They think the Slug Monsters was supposed to be its own book, but then they just, in last minute, just threw Monster Blood in there, just because it made no sense. Also, Monster Blood is such a weird IP, because it's well known, but at the same time, it just keeps on, just the properties of it just keeps on changing, right? Like, people like the idea of it, oh, it's being an item, but then some people were like, oh yeah, let's give it a face, and it's like, no, let's not do that. Anyways, first thing, once you get this, we get this nice pop-up. Oh look, the little giant pack. You mean the pack I just bought here? I've seen a lot of complaints when it comes to these pop-ups and whatnot, especially the whole, oh my god, $9.99. But nah. Anyways, I'm going to show off this. You've seen them before. These are the clowns and Murder the Clown / aka the Theo. But, the reason for this is because they only need one item, which is the clown mask, and it's going to be shown, I think, in part 2. No, part 3. This is part 2. What's wrong with me? I'm thinking this is like a part 1 thing, but yeah. So this is the novelty shop. What's interesting is the 20% is actually changed to event currency, which is a lot better compared to buying it for money, which is so dumb. But yeah, it's nice to see Carly Beth being used here. Now, Carly Beth does come later on. Although she's going to be featured here, she doesn't really drop anything like I mentioned before. And she's only there for like dialogue purposes, but other than that, she's not really needed. And that's going to be a theme you're going to see in part 4, but I'll explain that more when we get to there. I'm trying to have these videos kind of come out every Monday of sorts, so by the time you see this, it'll probably be Monday, hopefully, with the other video I'm uploading, so I'm kind of working my butt off here. But the idea is that each part will be in its separate video of sorts, so that it kind of spreads everything out. And I've noticed that my channel's slowly growing, which is nice to see. I'm not really, like, I don't really... it's nice to have new people come by and watch, especially since I do a very obscure mobile game based off of an IP, which is like 20-something years old now. Actually, it's almost 30 years old now when I think about it. Yeah, crap, it's like 28 now, because I just realized back in the day that I'm as old as Goosebumps. How creepy is that? But what's interesting, too, I think we're waiting for that, yeah, click on that type there. The whole purpose of this update, I suggested to do an April Fool's one because I thought, you know what, we have Easter, but I don't want to do the happy-go-lucky Easter thing again. And I suggested, do you, like, I think I did a poll some time long ago, just thinking about where everyone was, and I asked, do you prefer the circus / magic side of the Easter event, or did you like the Easter event stuff, the rabbits and whatnot? And most people sided with the circus stuff, so I'm like, you know what, maybe next time we'll have it be April Fools and have it be like clowns, and, because there's a lot of stories about with clowns, and we get Theo back, but, no. Oh yeah, these plots of land are now open, so I got that space going on for me. Don't know what I'm going to put up there, but I will think of something. I guess I'm going to wait for this to pop up. And after that, it should hopefully be able to continue on with the story for Evan here, once he's done skipping school. Here we go.
What is that child doing in the middle of the junkyard?
I don't know, but everywhere he goes, that colorful young woman follows him. You won't believe what I found in that pile of trash, Andy.
Ooh, shiny and radioactive. Perfect pranking material.
April Fools, here we come.
Yep, so they're not in sync for a purpose. Oh, so by the way, why is he skipping school? I don't even think he's in school at the moment.
In any case, we should be wary.
Yes, we've had enough random newcomers who try to abuse this peaceful little town.
Not to mention monsters in disguises. I'd say we've more than exceeded the town's quota.
So, we need to have him the animating playing with Monster Blood. So, yeah, oh, and we also put Cuddles down. Yes, just to so you know, and he drops the Slappy masks, by the way, which is funny how that gets into the story later on. But what's interesting about this is the fact that you probably saw the weird punk-looking character there named Andy. Yes, this is the same Andy from the Monster Blood series, but as you know, she's a lot different than before. Also, by the way, let's go ahead and look at Giant Evan. I think this is one of the interesting things about this event that I actually like, the fact that they're bringing the 3 trilogies in here by having each character be like a giant, right? In the first book, it was actually Trigger. Second was Cuddles and maybe a bit of Evan because of the him attacking the monster hamster. But then third one is mostly with Evan being giant because of a mistake, because he was trying to go after his cousin named Kermit. By the way, who named their child Kermit? Oh my God. Like, no kid gets named Kermit anymore, because as soon as somebody does, someone will make fun of them, go, "Oh, hello, Kermit the Frog." You know, that's what it is. So I have no idea why RL was listening, like, yeah, you know what, I'll name this kid Kermit, and he's a scientist. Because immediately when you think Kermit, you think of the Muppet. But regardless, there's a lot more funny memes in this video here. Oh, and I purposely call these, I know they're memes, but I call them memes because it's funnier. That, and I seen people, oh, and by the way, I love the fact that Courtney here doesn't care about a giant kid stomping around like a I don't know what to refer to that as, just being mean. And she just doesn't care at all. She doesn't fear anything. Even the mud monsters, apparently, which I was very disappointed with, but beggars can't be choosers. One other thing that's interesting here, which I'm going to show off, hold on a second. This is animation of him doing this, but wait, hold on a second. That can looks, wait a minute. Is that a Monster's Energy drink? Oh, no. I get the whole he has to have a monster can, but not literally a monster. Jeez. Oh, dear. Alright, whatever. Oh, and by the way, this is how long it takes just to have the characters every time, so it's a little bit longer than it was before, but what can you do? And I did like the fact that I suggested the junkyard to look the way it did. And it's weird too, because it's supposed to be a toy shop, but then it turned into a junkyard, so I think the top part's supposed to be advertising the Monster Blood toy. Which is weird, because in this story, they just went bankrupt for no reason. Like, they just stopped selling it, or they just like, oh no, the toy shops just went out of business, apparently. Yeah, how convenient is that? Anyways, we're going to continue on with the main story now, so let's go ahead and finish this off.
Total lack of public management, huh? The dream scenario for me. Let's see. What real estate shows terrific promise? Ooh, abandoned toy store? Yeah, I can work with that.
Citizens, after a long, drawn-out bout of administration leave of absence, I'm here to get things back on track. But first things first.
Oh, what is this?
Due to the ridiculous levels of radioactivity that are coming out of that huge pile of
Trash!
that you've permitted to accumulate while I've been gone, everyone is to quarantine themselves for 14 days.
Good luck trying to find face masks. Well, you heard the mayor. Not leaving the couch player. Not that you were going to anyway.
Oh, just like real life. Oh no, sad for the mayor.
Ew, what's that smell? Is that the famous town of horror everyone's and their mothers have been talking about? More like town of stink.
Hey, that's HorrorTown to you, young man. Though to be fair, it only took a few days of the mayor's blues for this town to become a major stinkhole. Say, you don't seem to be from around here, are you?
You wish. I'm Evan, the world's top #1 prankster, ready to do my worst. And this is my loyal dog, Trigger.
Place some junk piles and obtain some interesting junk. Alright, so in this storyline, as you can see, the mayor is finally kind of snapped. She's finally depressed, and don't worry, this is, as far as I know from my contact, there's a bigger narrative going on later on than this storyline, and it says, ooh boy, it's just gonna be so good. I think you might know where this might be leading to, but other than that, the story is pretty interesting. So just like real life, the concept behind this is the fact that because of the radioactivity coming out of the Dark Falls chemical plant that looks like garbage, as we, you'll hear a lot of trash and garbage, like the trash man from Always Sunny from Philly D. Jeez, that's an interesting show. Regardless of that, though, there's a bunch of so the concept is basically that they're in lockdown because of this scenario going on, and that's just gonna be a weird thing here, which is sucky and sad. So now we're gonna go to our next character, which is gonna be good old Cuddles the hamster. Now his mechanic is a little bit interesting because Cuddles, apparently when he's big, like let's see him, look at this giant cute baby boy. See, so what he does is, instead of scaring people, what he does is that he just kind of touch people and then he walks around. So the concept is that he doesn't care, he's just happy, he's out of his ball, running around, and then people are just freaking out, oh no, giant hamster, run away. Which, by the way, what would a giant hamster do? Like, how is that terrifying? Like, yeah, and the other, like in Tim Jacobus picture, and by the way, I finally got his last name properly done. I'm now, no one can just go ahead and just complain to me that I'm saying his name wrong. But yeah, with Tim Jacobus's design, it was really creepy and it became the Monster Flood face. But yeah, now we look at it here in reality and it's just like, look at that adorable thing. How is that scary? It's like a giant cuddly fur ball. You know what's weird too? He kind of looks like the he's like any other typical hamster. But what I was going to say, kind of reminds me of that Overwatch character that just came out a while ago. I think last year. Maybe it was last year. I don't know. I've not played that game. I just kind of vaguely know that that thing exists. So I don't know if that's based off of that. I don't think it is. It might be. It might be another character. It could be anything really, because hamsters and balls, right? So he magically goes back in his ball. All right. Because of magic. Oh, and by the way, I want to show you something hilarious. Hey, you wonder what happened to the promenade back in February? Well, here it is. It's in Slappy's town. What happened? Why are you hoarding this stuff now? It makes no sense. You were so good back in March, but now look at this. What happened? Why is this here? What's going on? Why is there so much oh my, and then look at the pool. Just Slappy, man, what's wrong with you? You see, like, this whole event is supposed to be trash, but his town is literally trash. And what's interesting too, I don't know if I mentioned this in my last, I can't recall anymore, but back in March, I did talk about how it was interesting how one of their other games, when you go to the other town that's made by Pixowl, and we're gonna finally look at the last guy, which is good old Trigger here, and Trigger, he's just happy. Look, see, he licks people, he gives a little tail waggy. He's a good boy. He's not a bad boy. Look at him, he's just a good boy. He just likes, see, look, he's just happy to meet people, that's all, and people are freaking out. What's wrong with people? Like, okay, a giant kid stomping around being a Winky, that makes sense to be scared, but a giant hamster and a happy dog, no, I don't know why. I mean, unless you're allergic to dogs, but I don't know if he's the type that sheds. I don't know what kind of breed he is. Maybe someone can look at this and go, oh, I know what breed that is. But yeah, he's just a dog. But it's interesting how there's no real animations for these two, which is sucky. That's the only sucky part about this. And like, otherwise, I kind of like their designs. Like, I'm a sucker for these kind of cute things. But the problem is that there's only two animations that kind of just hide, right? Which kind of sucks because there's not even like one animation you can see them do. So maybe in the future they might fix that and add some more stuff in there. But yeah, for now, maybe they can do that and fix Compton at the same time. Bring his animations back instead of hiding them. Like, we're missing those items, man. Why can't he just do the special dancing on Uncle Tony again?
Neighbors are looking at us funny. Whatever. Soon, the jokes will be on them.
Hey, who All these endless mounds of garbage are giving me an idea.
Maybe they're looking at you because of your weird hair. Like, who has rainbow hair? Rue.
This barren area is perfect for kart racing.
Cool. I'll be your flagger.
Yay! Racer Evans on the pole position, and off he goes!
Still a child. Have him do racing carts, or kart racing, yeah. This is hilarious. Look at this look at this homomobile. Doesn't this remind you of anything? Like, look at this. Oh man, he's confirmed to be a character for a kart racing game. Look at this. You gotta imagine, like, he must have made this stuff. You know what it looks like? It kind of looks like those weird cars. Like, it doesn't have any power or anything, but you're basically rolling it down a hill and it's a racing in that kind of style. That's what that looks like, those kind of carts. And for some reason he just hasn't powered, and yeah, it's a little funny animation with him just being able to race his car around. It's weird, but okay, whatever. I also find it weird how he has a I still can't get over the monster can. Like, oh god, like really? I mean, the monster thing that they made for the event is...
Word got out this town's full of harmless victims. When I heard, I couldn't resist.
Well, can't argue with that. Maybe together we can have even more fun with these fools.
Whatever. Let's check out this place and see what we can play with. Creepy toy store. Boring. Whoa, a radioactive chemical junkyard? Now we're talking. Who wants simple toys when you can play with toxic waste?
Oh yeah, yum yum, my favorite toxic Avenger.
Alright, here I am, ready to fool some fools. HorrorTown? What kind of name is that? Looks more like Softyville to me.
Actually, that's HorrorTown. And it's the scariest town around.
Oh yeah? Well, I'm Andy, world's top second prankster, and soon this whole neighborhood will be scared of me.
You'll find out why. They'll be scared of you, but for all the wrong reasons, Bandy. I'll say that much. And yeah, so get the Vandy machines, which I already got, and I need 3 of them. So had I had 4 of these already, I would have gotten this quest right away. But yeah, we're gonna hold on that for a little bit. I think the next part we're gonna be finishing off. Which one is gonna be? I think it might be. Yeah, it's probably going to be the continuation of the main story, so let's just see this going on right here.
Where's Evan? I'm his right-hand girl, and together we'll teach this town how to have some real fun.
Oh, he was just here a few minutes ago. I think he went...
Who asked you? Get lost, dumb face.
Hey, no need to be so cruel.
I walk a lonely road, the only road that no rises below.
Why are these big shot pranksters so mean? Is there no room left in this town for Dustin and his small-time mischief?
Where shall none, all the world is buried beside me. Oh my god, this is gonna be the saddest thing I've seen. Everyone's going depressed now. I feel so bad for them. And guess what? That's not going to be the only sad joke in this episode. Yeah, I had to throw in some good old Green Day. That's a good song, by the way. Sure, I forgot what the song's called, but, you know, the one I used for this meme here, the Walking a Lonely Road. Also, you gotta love Evan's hand as the character. Like, you can't have Evan's face, so just have his hand. Oh yeah, that's real terrifying.
Has anyone told you there's a quarantine going on? You shouldn't be touching that glowing stuff. Who cares? I'm Evan, world's top #1 prankster, and I won't be stopped by some quarantine.
Quarantine? Wait a minute. He's the same age as you little punk. What a way to say he's old. Old man.
No, that's... Never mind. That's right. Now get lost, dummy.
Who are you calling dummy? Dummy? Yeah, so I gotta place the joke shop here, and what's interesting is I think I suggested how the joke shop could be designed. Yeah, so I kind of did a design, like, not really design, but I offered, hey, there's this prank shop, so maybe you can do something with that. And they did, and then I guess they made funny faces, and it looks like it's been abandoned. It's almost like Andy's running this shop, to tell you the truth. But maybe I shouldn't be the one judging with how there's a creepy smile on this thing, like, painted on. Especially since, you know, you've seen my art with the HNT and the little stupid earth I made. Yeah, I'm the one to talk. I made it with an MS Paint. Like, I can do the thumbnails, but when it comes to drawing with a mouse, oh, God forbid, can't do that. We'll continue on with Evan's story now. Oh, I can't wait. Oh boy, what will happen?
Whoa, thrill seeker. That's my kind of neighborhood.
Get lost, Pinocchio. You're making me lose my focus.
Well, if you stop racing and listening to me, you will find something much more valuable.
I wonder what he might be talking about here, and interesting to see Mr. Wood here.
Alright, you've piqued my interest. Open your face hole and start yapping.
Man, him and Yvonne, both the same thing.
Well, I heard you're a world-class prankster, and there's a powerful item which will allow you to play the funniest and scariest pranks. Of course, it will take some convincing its owner.
Well, Andy can be quite persuasive. Are you coming?
Sure, let's also bring Trigger, just in case.
What is the dog going to do? Lick him to death? If he Cuddles and Trigger at the same time, he's going to go home and get some monster surprise eggs. Well, that's going to be great. Isn't that great when you get like those little Kinder Surprise eggs and then it opens up and there's just booger, like linoleum slime in there? Oh man, I'm words and talk. By the way, up in ye old Canuck land that I'm in, the land of ice and snow, I think, up here as well as in the UK, we have Kinder Surprise, but it's not like how there is down in the States, because the States has this weird law where you can't have any foreign objects inside your foods, because choking hazards, because I guess kids were really that dumb and just eat the food, you know. But anyways, yeah, so when I think of those, when I think of those giant eggs, I think of like the Kinder Surprise eggs kind of deal. It's like these weird milk chocolate, I believe. And then there's like a little dinky toy you make, which is fun. I think I remember there was one in particular that they had like a set of rabbits and doing ski poses and whatnot. And I think we bought a whole thing just to get the collection of them, just so we can do it in a display case during the winter. Because it's like those weird little, you know, those little towns that you see in little display towns. Like usually there's some that they do for the winter, and then there's spooky month, and then just normal town. I think there's a few companies that do it, and I think there's one in particular. And you know what? Now that I mention it, I think people who've made the stuff for the spooky stuff, you know, for Halloween and whatnot, it would be funny to see like them using some of the design for that here. It'd be like, oh man, that looks cool. Let's put that in there. But I digress. I don't know why I'm talking. I don't know why I'm clicking on the cornfield. Why am I click? Oh, you know what it is? I'm trying to get the stupid. Yeah, there we go. I got it. I was trying to get the stupid mimic chest, but oh no, I was going after clicking the dark cornfield. Can't wait to talk about that in July. On my birthday month. Right, so I think this next part is, yeah, so here comes the next part of the depression quest. I can't believe, oh boy, I can't wait. Here's some more funny maymays. Oh boy, get ready to laugh.
Hey, that guy was mean. Is this what being humiliated feels like?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Poor Dustin, I guess he's just depressed with Mayor Johnson. Also, here comes the reveal of who this mysterious other character is.
Hey, Evan, there you are. Who's this?
What do you mean, who's this? You probably already know from the other story.
She's a fellow prankster. Looks innocent enough, but she has a cooler, darker side.
Name's Carly.
tired of having to wait for Halloween to have some fun. I'm ready to cause a commotion.
Hey everybody, look, it's Carly Beth. Remember her from Halloween? She's back. Finally. For April Fool's Day.
So, who could our first victim be?
That's what I'm talking about, girl. Alright, here comes a neighbor. Radiant, lovely, charming, feminine. I think I've just the thing for her.
Alright, place your bets. Who do you think it is? He's crafting himself a fake spider. Oh boy, it's gonna be spooky. Yeah, so Carly Beth, that is the mysterious other prankster here, and one of these stories, I think in part 3, we'll talk a little bit more about her. But you probably already know that this is like one of my more top favorite, not favorite, but one of my most viewed videos of this game. That and the first one, which was very awful. Like, at least I gave it an attempt when it came to Carly Beth's update, but in this one, no. The first one, that was cringe. I didn't even bother. Oh man, yeah. So everyone has having fun while everyone else is just staying safe at home, doing nothing. But yeah. So yeah, get a good guess on who you think good old prankster boy here is going to go after. I already know who it is, and it's kind of weird the fact that this is the case, but yeah, you know what? I'm as much this event. Apparently, I'm getting a lot of mixed feelings about this from other people. On the one hand, I'm hearing a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, I love this. This is great." Other people are more upset, and rightfully so. You'll find out more later on. I know I'm teasing this this whole part 4 thing, but believe me, it's going to be well worth it. But I'm quite surprised when this part in particular is actually quite humorous with all the jokes I got to sneak in there. I'm going to see if part 3 is going to be the same, but I know part 4 definitely... Ooh, part 4, get ready for the maymays. It'll be really good. Because, oh boy, I can't wait to talk about this character. Good. Yeah, so, there's that. But, while we wait here, let's just go ahead and click this. And, yeah, she's all done. I don't need you. I don't need you, Mrs. Mrrr. I want Mrs. Dark, because she's gonna help me get me some planned... Why does she need pranking papers, right? I get her staying home, staying safe and whatnot, but why does she need prank papers? Like, really, what is she gonna do with them? You know, that makes a good question. Why are they needing prank papers? Like, the interesting... You know, I'm thinking too much of this, man. Like, on the one hand, I'm trying... You know what? I'm trying to make sense of something like this. And when I did my event, at least I gave some sort of explanation on why these characters were creating these items. And this one's just like, nah, you just get papers and chocolate and peanut butter because, yeah, why not? Why not? They're just doing that because, and God love the unloved floating heads. Like, oh man, that is so scary. They're just, whatever. Oh, and speaking of the Magic Exhibition. What was that, Grim? With that and Mazo, there's something interesting. Oh yeah, we're fantastic! Yay, spider!
Ah, a spider! I hate spiders!
You're a Nanga. Why are you scared of spiders?
On point as always, my friend.
I know, right? Just a classic one to starters.
That felt good. It's been so long.
I love how I did Carly Beth's voice here. And oh, by the way, here comes a funny little bit.
What is this? Tricking poor neighbors with fake spiders? We may be monsters, but spiders are too much!
Whoa, not spiders. We got all the monsters, but spiders? No good. God forbid Mrs. Foister comes into town. You all will be scared out of your bones.
To learn about empathy, you will take care of Cuddles during detention.
I thought school was canceled.
Cuddles? Who's that?
That is our new classroom hamster's pet.
You two will have plenty of alone time to get to know each other. Ha ha! Serves you right, prankster.
Don't worry, Evan. We'll We'll use this to our advantage.
We'll feed Cuddles a Nickelodeon slime and make him terrorized by being a big cuddly furball.
Yeah, so you're supposed to spawn Cuddles from the scene, but technically it's just summon anybody. So I'm gonna try to do that, but unfortunately Cuddles is playing in the junkyard. I don't know what he's playing with. What is he playing with, huh? Anyways, you see these two characters, right? These two freemium characters? Well, guess what? Now giant animals. Oh man, I can't wait to see all three of them going after everybody. So with these two up and about, it gives you 60% of the actual item choice. Oh, and by the way, there's two other moments with all these characters, and there was a funny glitch when it came to Theo. Speaking of the clown, by the way, with Theo, apparently there was a weird glitch, and it happened twice. And for some reason, I don't know why, but apparently, if you summon him in his little clown college thing, after he was done, if other characters decide to go ahead and try to scare him, he won't show any animation of being scared, but he will pop up the scares. So what ended up happening is that they just keep on harassing him. You're going to see it twice happening. The first one, it was interesting, like, oh, I didn't know this. The second one was just hilarious because it just, like, I even posted it onto Facebook, so you might know what this clip is held. Not only that, but there's also, trying to think what else here, but you know what, I'm going to have to hold that off because here comes this end part.
Ah! A giant hamster! Look out! I'm impressed, Mr. Wood. You might just be the world's top 3 prankster.
Isn't it supposed to be like third or... I don't know.
What? Mr. Wood and Evan pranking together?
They sure are, boy, and they don't seem to be stopping anytime soon. What do you say we get back at the pranksters with some pranking of our own?
They're joining together in a force? Oh no, this is truly terrifying. God. The horror.
Alright, kid, it's on. Hand me some of that green goo.
You got it, Slappy.
We're gonna make some good monster gum. Oh boy, look, we got the next point of this thing. Hooray. So this is what you need for the gum. And I hope you enjoyed that because that was it. Literally, this is it this is the last part of this point of the video because all the funny bits are gonna come in part 3 when it comes to all the jokes and the pranking and what might go on. I don't know why he's doing this weird trick-or-treating during going outside, but okay, whatever. Yeah, so you have your fun with that. Go ahead and trick-or-treat and give me some of that event currency, apparently. Yeah, so that was a thing. But yeah, what do you think? You know what, I forgot what I was going to say. It just happened, it just gone, now it just disappeared. But yeah, these two characters, they apparently have hidden not spawn, but it gives you event currency, which is bizarre to say the least. But yeah, with that, I think we're about done. I forgot what I was about to say. I'm probably going to watch this again and think I'm an idiot once I realize what it was I was about to say, but you get the point. Anyways, I've been Grim. I'll be seeing you next time in part 3 with more Goosebumps HorrorTown with the Monster Blitz series. Until then, I want to ask you a question. Who do you think is going to win the pranking war? Mr. Wood and Evan? Or Dustin and Slappy?